Hello and welcome to this video. So last video I actually talked about how I design an interface. Alright. Okay, so I did talk about this mind map, and then okay, let's say for example, I have not talked about implementations. Just pretend this branch is not there. I have inputs, outputs, dependencies, and tests. Okay. There are two schools of thought, alright? One of the schools of thoughts is that you write the tests first. After that, then you do the class. That means write the tests first, how this interface is supposed to function, and how a class that implements this interface is supposed to function. Then after that, you kind of after that just make the classes. You design your classes after writing the tests. Of course, the conventional way is to, what we are probably normally used to is to write the classes first, then test the classes later. Okay, but there is one thing I learned, I think, from other YouTube videos, that you should always use test-driven development. Test-driven development. This is as you look at Wikipedia, it relies on software requirements being converted to test cases before the software is fully developed. What it says is that just put the interface out, and then you run the interface the way that you want it to function. After that, then code the implementation such that the interface, or at least that implementation, will function like that. Alright, so that's it. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, so this is how it's supposed to be. Let me show you now how. Let me show you how now to write a simple test. Okay, you can actually look at a few good documentations, pieces of documentation. I mean, C# unit testing and Visual Basic unit testing, all using xUnit. All the documentation is over here, and this should be available for Visual Studio as well. I'm just using the command line interface over here. Now the way to do new test is to use .NET new, and then you can use xUnit. Okay, if you're not sure, you can use .NET new list over here. Then you see this xUnit test project right here. This is the kind of test that you want to make. So let me clear. Okay, .NET new xUnit. Okay, and of course I can specify language and output. My autocomplete's already done. The language is Visual Basic, and the output is test1. Right. So this is how you make the .NET test, and that was how I made this unit test net called DWSim XML library test. Go to test1. If you just want to run the test straight away, just run here .NET test. Okay, very simple. Okay, and then it will say the test actually passes. Okay, and you may be asking what kind of test is here. Okay, the test code will be in unit test1.vb for this case, and then you will see the Visual Basic code here. Let me quit this side. So we have a terminal on the left and this on the right. Okay, system xUnit is imported. Okay, all the NuGet packages are taken care of, so you don't really have to bother. Okay, there'll be a namespace, a public class, and then a test subroutine. Okay, all you need to do here is to write the code that you want to test. And how do we know it's a test code? We have this fact thingy right here, and this indicates to .NET that the .NET runtime, whatever, that you need to run this bit of code when you're running the test. So yeah, let me show you the moment I remove the fact. I remove the fact line and I run .NET test again. Okay, then it will complain that no test is available here. So please make sure that you always put the fact thing over here. FACT. Write it here. Okay, and then what do you do next? Okay, so the way to start running tests is to like set it up first. Okay, so what kind of tests are we doing? Yeah, maybe you want to test whether an addition function to see whether 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So we'll have some reference value, dim yref as double, yref equals to 2. So this is a reference value. Okay, so you want to test that 1 plus 1 equals to 2, right? So we have a reference value that we check that we want the final result to be. So I just call this yref just to make sure that yes, this is a variable I want to test. I want to make sure that the output is 2. And then let's do a simple 1 plus 1 code. Okay, and this is a test function or something. Okay, test code. Okay, and what's the test code? I can dim x1 as double, dim x2 as double, dim y result as double, x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 2. Okay, this is intentionally wrong so that you'll see whether a test fails. Okay, y result equals 1 or x1 plus x2. Alright, so this is how you sort of set it up. You make sure that you have a yref and a y result. Okay, so this part here actually says, okay, this is maybe your test function that is supposed to give you the correct output result. Then you're supposed to compare it against y reference over here. Okay. Okay, if I run .NET test, it will still say it's successful because we are not really testing for anything just yet. Because I did not compare yref and y result, you will then need to, yeah, because I didn't compare yref and y result, the test doesn't know what you're trying to do. So as long as the whole code here actually runs, the test here will just be deemed as success. So to actually test it, okay, we use the assert function, test using assert function. So assert function will be under the xUnit namespace. If you want to look at some documentation, this will be a very good place. xUnit test blah blah blah, and then you can actually look inside here. They will tell you a little bit, okay, just a little bit about how to use the assert function. There's not a lot of good documentation. I suppose they use IntelliSense and stuff like that, but this is good enough for the time being. Okay, if not, you can look at some YouTube videos online. Not mine. I think other people have done way better jobs than me. So yeah. But anyway, we'll try. Okay, Assert.Equal. Okay, assert is the class. I think a class of objects, class of functions. Equal is the function. So you want to assert whether something is equal. The proper syntax is to put the reference object first, then the result object. Okay, what's the result object? Now if you test it, this thing will fail. Okay, why does it fail? Because yref and y result are not the same. Okay, what is it? What's the message like here? If you look at the error message, it says assert equal failure. Expected is 2, actual is 3. So you see the expected one is yref. That's the first thing you put it here, and then the y result is the actual result, okay, of your code. Okay, this is a very simple example. Now, if you switch this over, I put y result, and yref over here. And I do .NET test. It will still fail, but the results might confuse you because over here it says the expected result is 3, which is not the reference value that we're putting here. And then the actual is 2. So we need to make sure that both of these are in the right position. Now, okay, let's say you're debugging your code. Of course, you can call your classes here and make them do things that you want. That's fine. Let's say you are correcting the class and then I need to change this to 1. How then of course now the test is supposed to work properly, the 1 plus 1 thing. Okay, so the standard way of doing things is to make sure that okay, this test this test should not pass if the code is not in working as function, so working as you intend. So always it's good to use this Assert.Equal thing for that. Okay, so where can this be used? Okay, this can be used over here. Extract the name of the name water using a fact test. So let me quit. Okay, quit everything first, and that's just a primer for you. There's way more things to learn about tests, but I'm not going to do tutorials on all of them. I'm just going to tell you how I use it in this project. Okay, let me quit again. I open the wrong file. Unit test star. Yes, okay, that's better. Okay, so I actually had some tests here, which is pretty crude. Because set no wrap, set tab stop equals to 4 and to format it properly. Save. Okay, there you go. Yeah, this is how the test is run. The test sub is over here, and I have a lot of tests with the facts over here. The fact test, the simplest of tests are fact tests, and we'll just be using that for the time being. If we need more robust tests, then we'll do it later. Okay, what is this thing over here supposed to do? All right, one of these tests here is to extract the name water using a fact test. Okay, so again, I'll delete this. Maybe I'll just copy this template and paste it here. Okay, and I'll change this. I'll change the bottom one into 2J CIW. All right. What do I want this to be? Okay. The way to name your test is maybe, of course, you want to test something, and then you test the function name. All right. So IXML library loader, and then of course you should say what it's supposed to do. Load water string. Okay, I hope the name works well. Okay, of course there are better practices than mine. I'm not actually following best practices right here. Okay, so it says the test passed because of course we did not use any assert right yet. There's no code to run, and then if the whole thing just runs through and there's no code, then of course this thing will pass. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, dim water string as string, or maybe I'll do this reference string, CIW ref string as string. Open this up, ref string equals to water. Okay, reference string equals to water. Then we do our code here. Okay, I don't know how we are going to get the string out. Okay, maybe I'll just call def dim result string as string, and then we're supposed to make sure that result string is supposed to have our bit of code. Okay, there's a little bit more to do here because the whole point of this code is not actually to it's not actually here to pull out the name water, but we don't want to be the thing over here is that we're pulling out an entire library of components of XML library. The whole XML library is here, so it's very difficult to test that bit, right? It's very difficult to test that bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to test the bit alone, because if your job is just to pull out this entire XML library right here, this entire XML library, maybe there's just too much things to compare with. All right, you just want to make sure that this this name here. Okay, we are looking for water specifically. Let's look for water. Water is right there. We want to pull this specific string out. How do I do it? I haven't planned that out yet. So of course the test will fail. This is where we test the result. Test if equal. Right, so assert.equal. The first thing is ref string, then your result string. Okay, this test will fail as expected. Okay, it will fail as expected because why? Let me exit this part. Because obviously both strings here, this result string here is a null value. Okay, it's a null value. So we see expected is water, actual is null. Okay, so your test is sort of set up already. We still need to call the object here and make it, do things, right? Yeah, I'll probably do that in the next video. Of course, probably want to separate this out. There's a lot to digest. Yeah, but this is sort of the test setup that we want. Okay, this is sort of the test setup we want. Usually we will try to make the test code first using the methods I've shown you. We write out the test, and then we write out the way the function is supposed to work, and then after that we code things in ourselves to make it work. Then we know that this function is working as intended. Okay, again a bit abstract. We will try to do more things in the coming up video. I'll see you.